Man, how are we going to get internet on the road? Where do I plug this thing?
I got you.
A little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Stay. We got 3 bars. If you guys are looking for an easier way to get internet while traveling in your RV, stay tuned. We got a couple options for you. Alright, so that was a little shenanigans outside with the tinfoil hat. Certainly this thing used to work back in the 70s and 80s, if you remember the TVs. Some of you might not be old enough for that. But getting internet on the road is going to be different for everybody, and I know that's pretty complicated and frustrating because we've looked at a lot of different channels trying to get ideas. And this is kind of what we've put together over the years. And again, it's going to be different for full-timers and weekend people. So if you're just a weekender, a lot of the cheaper stuff is going to work great for you. If you're a full-timer working on the road, you're going to need a little bit more of our advanced stuff here. First thing, pretty easy, is going to be a cell phone. Obviously, you can access on a smartphone, you can access your email, websites, things like that, so everybody knows that. Most plans will have hotspot included. We have 10 gigs per line, and we have 2 lines on our cell phones, so we can always hotspot our cell phones, which I think is going to be the best bet for the weekend person. You know, ours is 10 gigs, and that's plenty to stream some Netflix movies, to check your email, to hotspot your laptop, and so forth. So that's the basic stuff. Stay tuned to the end, and we're going to show you a little device that we purchased that we can screencast our phones, our Android phones, onto our TV and use the in-data streaming service, which is unlimited on our phones on our TV. So just stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll have Sabrina show you that. But as far as, again, the weekend people, your cell phone is going to be pretty adequate for hotspotting to your laptop. For full-timers, it's going to be a different story. So as far as Wi-Fi, let's talk about that first. Wi-Fi access, if you're mooch docking, if you're in a campground that has Wi-Fi that's a little bit far away, maybe even if you're parked outside of somewhere that has Wi-Fi, we ended up going with one of these guys. Something like this Wi-Fi antenna works great for us. We tried the rooftop antenna, and honestly it slowed our signal down for some reason, and this guy works great. And right now we're about 200 feet away from the source, and we're getting top of line internet. So I think you can get even further out of something like this, and this is pretty affordable. And it also has Ethernet plugs if you need a hardwired connection, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. So pretty cheap, probably under 50 bucks, and we'll leave a link for stuff like this below. The next step, our first year, we used a hotspot through Verizon. We actually got in on the unlimited prepaid plan, say that 3 times fast. So we make sure we make our payment on that every month so we don't get dropped out of that. But our Verizon SIM card in a little mobile hotspot like this, and then we purchased a antenna that you can stick to the window, and this worked pretty well. This is mobile, we could take it in the car with us, we could take it on trips, and we can leave it in the RV, so this was pretty good. The only problem with this was that it didn't have an Ethernet connection, and some people working from the road need a hardwired connection for their employer, and that wasn't going to work for us. So we upgraded our Wi-Fi router, and I'll show you that in a minute. As a temporary solution to this guy, or Wi-Fi to hardwired, because Sabrina needed a hardwired connection for one of her employers.
This little guy right here, this was my savior a while back, and this is a wireless bridge connection. So what it does is it takes either the Wi-Fi or a data connection, and it takes that data and it sends it through this wire, and then you can plug the wire into your laptop. Now what it's going to show on your laptop is that you are on a hardwired Ethernet. Okay, so if you have an employer that is looking for a hardwired connection, this is a way to get by for a little while. If it's an employer who does checks on the actual system, just keep in mind that you might get caught with it, because like us, it was on a Verizon wireless connection. So obviously they're going to know that it's coming from a wireless data connection. So, you know, it's on you if you get fired.
We assume no responsibility, right, and we have no extra room in the RV if you,
right,
if you come here and sleep.
So this is just an option.
Right, so yeah, if you need a hardwired connection, works in hotel rooms, whatever, you can as long as you can get Wi-Fi or cellular data, this will convert it. So that's a good workaround as well.
And it's cheap.
And this guy does it as well too. So if you're on a Wi-Fi, you need a Wi-Fi boost from Mooch docking, you can plug an Ethernet connection in the bottom of this and run that to your laptop, and it fools whoever's looking at it thinking it's a hardwired connection. So we always keep a length of Ethernet cable with us just for that reason, because if we need to plug in hardwired to our wireless router, which I'll show you guys in a little bit, and plug it into a laptop, that's a good way to do that as well. So, alright, so for you full-timers, we had to level up a little bit and we ended up getting a wireless router. Basically a wireless router allows you to put SIM cards in the router and connect via, we have a rooftop antenna, and we ended up running some Ethernet cables within the RV so Sabrina could hardwire in the bedroom and work, and then we also had wireless access throughout the rest of the RV. So we ended up putting it on top of the cabinet, so let me show you that up there. Alright guys, we are up on top of our cabinet now. This is where I have located our wireless router, and this is the MoFi 4500. The nice thing about this guy is it does come with its own antennas that were right here, so you don't need a rooftop antenna, but we ended up running some wires to the top for an external antenna, and these are your Wi-Fi antennas inside the RV. You also have these hardwired Ethernet plugs, which we ran a Cat 5e cable down the wall through the storage unit and then back up into the bedroom and put a plug there so Sabrina could work. And I also ran some 12 volt power right from our electric panel through the wall and put some plugs. So this guy, the nice thing about it is that you can slide in various SIM cards. Alright guys, so the nice thing that I liked about the MoFi was that you can put various SIM cards in it. It's not tied to one carrier, where our other hotspot was a Verizon product only. We can only use Verizon data cards in it. This, we can actually use our Verizon data card, which we use most of the time. It's unlimited, but we can also swap out SIM cards from our cell phones. So our cell phones have unlimited data on the cell phone. If we plug it into this, there's a setting in here that fools the carrier into thinking that it's still in a cell phone, and we get unlimited data through our T-Mobile. And eventually we want to add a AT&T line as well and be able to plug that in, so we have all three carrier options wherever we go. And this thing broadcasts to our truck, so while we're driving we have high-speed internet, and it broadcasts throughout the RV, even sitting outside, so it's really great. The other nice thing about the MoFi, and I'm going to have to make another video about it, is you can band lock, which means you can actually go in and pick the strongest band, carrier band in the area, and lock into it and get the highest speed, and you're not in the congested other bands that other people are on. So it's a little more technical, but it's got a lot of benefits and it was pretty affordable. I'll link this guy below.
Alright guys, so the little bonus feature. So this is basically for Android users only. So on the Android, what feature that you have is the screen share. You're going to be using that, okay? But what we bought that helps us out with this is this little device right here, and it's called the Screen Beam. And what it does is it allows for all the different apps that you have on your phone, YouTube, Netflix, things of that nature. Now Netflix will allow you to watch it on your phone. They'll allow you to watch it on your TV if you have a smart TV, but you would have to stream to do that, right? Well, now you can watch your Netflix on your app on your phone and stream it to your TV using this trusty device. This device hooks into our HDMI cable, which runs into the TV, and once it boots up, I'll show you how it works. Okay, so after that one screen popped up with the code on it, that's where you're going to sync your smart view with the code that was on your screen, because that's the code that links the two together. And then that's what happens. Your Netflix that you had up here is going to show up here. If you're trying not to use up your data and you just want to use your streaming, this is an option for you. I would definitely recommend this little gadget right here.
What the heck? I'm glad you guys were able to watch this video with us. This is how we get on the internet when we're on the road. You can between hotspotting our phones, using our MoFi router, using our little wireless router on the go,
using my head,
plugging into Sabrina, and then also that little screen beam, which is pretty cool. If you have an Android, you can just share your screen with your TV. So if you got kids that want to watch Netflix for the night, it's a great way just not to chew up your data, but also use the streaming service on your phone. So join us for the next video.
and we'll catch you on the road.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye now.
Bye.